Welcome back to God is Alive. My name is Serena, and here I speak all about what it truly means to have a personal relationship with God. We have faith every day that we'll wake up tomorrow, so I want to start a fire in your heart to stop chasing the temporary things of this world and to put that same faith in God. So let's learn about God and learn to lean on God, because what's the worst that could happen? Welcome back to God is Alive. My name is Serena, and today I'm talking about when trusting God is hard. First things first, there are times when trusting God is easy, but for a lot of the time, trusting God is not easy. Sometimes it's really hard to trust God and what He is or isn't doing in our life, or even just in the grand scheme of things. And this feeling of doubt is not new. I mean, if we go all the way back in Genesis and we look at Abraham, we'll see we're not alone. God was promising Abraham descendants and nations. Meanwhile, nothing was happening. And so I think a lot of the times we will do the same thing. We'll know the promises. We'll want to have the faith. But at the end of the day, we'll look around. We won't see really what's happening behind the scenes. And we start to doubt. And in the same way that we're not perfect, Abraham wasn't perfect. He tried to take things into his own hands, and it only furthered the problem. Because as we know, God's plan always unfolds, and He always keeps His promises. In Hebrews, the author uses Genesis chapter 22, verses 16 through 17 to convey that when God swore an oath to Abraham, He actually swore it on Himself. So let me explain. Okay, so the verse reads, "By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son. I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of his enemy." Did you pick up on it? Probably not. That's because it only starts to make sense if you know the ancient customs, which I don't, but I happen to know this one. In ancient times, when people made an oath, they would always swear on something greater than themselves. Except God has no one higher than Himself to swear by. So when He makes the promise to Abraham, He says, "By myself I have sworn." This is amazing. This is literally the God that we follow, the God that we are called to trust. Yes, trusting Him is hard, but it's even easier, I think, when we know His character and we know how He works. He is slow, steady, gracious, merciful. And He literally told Abraham, "I stake my entire nature on this promise." He's not just promising to be faithful to Him and to all of us. He is saying, I am the guarantee. Like when I say something's gonna happen, when I say it is how it is, that's it. When God swears, He swears by the highest, and that's Himself. And we have no reason but to trust the highest when we understand the highest. He swore by Himself to show Abraham and remind Abraham, I am the guarantee. That, as Abraham knew those customs, the ancient custom, it would have hit Abraham kind of like a truck in a way. When God says, I swear by myself, it's like, whoa, it's really realizing He is the highest. It's unfathomable in a way. So Hebrews chapter 6 verse 17 says, "So when God desired to show more convincingly to the heirs of the promise the unchangeable character of His purpose, He guaranteed it with an oath." The author of Hebrews here is actually referencing Genesis chapter 22, when God swears by Himself to Abraham. And what the author of Hebrews is trying to say is, God doesn't need to swear by an oath. His word alone is trustworthy, but He did it anyway for our benefit and for Abraham's benefit. God made that promise to give Abraham the assurance that he needed. because he knows that trusting him is hard and that we do need assurance. We need something to hold on to when it feels like everything is falling apart. We need foundation and stability, and we enjoy comfort, but anyway, the point is that little story, that little tiny section in the entire Bible is just one little way that God shows us and shows his people that we are safe to trust him. It feels unordinary, unorthodox. It's hard. It's not easy. But we see time and time again how he comes through on his promises, not because we are perfect or because Abraham was perfect, but because God is, and he comes through for us. And just like Abraham, we too depend on him and his faithfulness, not our perfection. We know we can't see the full picture. We live in the moment. Only God can see eternity, and it's hard to trust something or someone when we don't understand what they're capable of. I know this is going to sound silly, but it just popped in my head. Imagine taking someone that had lived like 1,000, 2,000 years ago, bringing them here, and then trying to get them to ride in an airplane. Even though we know airplanes are logistically safer than cars. And there was a Nathan Fields documentary, not to go on a completely unnecessary tangent, that basically explained that most airplane, if not crashes that happened in the last 20 years were because of miscommunication between the pilot and the co-pilot. Anyway, but they're still pretty rare. It would be pretty scary for that person to want to go on an airplane. They've never seen it before. They don't know how it works. And in a way, trusting God is like that. No? Maybe a little bit. He's like calling us to do something that's just completely out of our comfort zone, and we just don't know where it's going to take us. It's easy for us to be let down. It's easy for us to be afraid, want to protect ourselves, and I think at the end of the day, when we read the word and we see how he acts and who he is, what he's done, we see how he's proven himself faithful. We see how he's working all things for good, even if it's patiently, even if it takes time. We see how he comes through, even in the suffering, even through the problems. He's got an eye out for everything. We see how nothing can truly stop his plan from coming to light. We see how he's perfect and can literally think not just 10 steps ahead, but thousands of years ahead. And this should be enough for us to trust him. And remember, trusting God isn't just, pretending everything is going to be okay and, it's going to be sunshine and rainbows one day. It means knowing and believing that he is there for you. He is on your side. He is seeing you go through it day by day, and he will take you through it. That he is the one with you in the fire, that he is the one with you in the whale's mouth, that he is the one with you up on the cross, that no matter where you go, no matter where you end up, no matter what this world tries to put you through, no matter what this world tries to say that you are, he is with you always, and you are his. That's what comes with him. It's comfort. No matter where we are in any situation, not needing things, not having wants, desires, it's saying, I don't need any of that to have the joy and the peace and the comfort that I have that comes from Christ. So I hope I'm making sense. But trusting God is not about faking a confidence. It's about understanding who he is and believing him and his promises to the point by you live by it, you think about it, you act on it. And it's going to be a never-ending process. This is the last thing I'm really going to say. Trusting God is almost never-ending because you truly have to get up every day, remember what he's done, remember that he's going to get you through whatever it is that you're going through, and to hold firm in that, to not let your thoughts waver in that. And the way we do that is by remembering what he's done. So if you still feel like you are struggling to trust the Lord, why don't you go ahead and take some time to really think about the things that are making you struggle to trust him? What holds you back? What makes you doubt? What about him makes you, you know what I'm saying? And try to answer that. If you need help, ask me questions. I'd love to maybe make a podcast on it. But I think bringing that doubt into the light, whatever's holding that trust back, whatever fear it is, and exposing it to who he is, who he really is, how he really works, helps us trust him more. Like, the simplest example I can give is like, if he's so good, why do good people suffer? That idea can hold someone back from trusting God. And it makes sense. Why would a good God have good people suffer? But if you know the answer to that question and you understand him, then it becomes easier to trust him and to understand and trust his ways. And if you happen to struggle with that question, I actually have a podcast on it. So, yeah. But as always, thank you so much for tuning to the very end of today's podcast. I hope I encouraged you in some way or another. And today's song of the day is Trust in God by Elevation Worship and Chris Brown. This is a very heartfelt, classic worship song about how God is always there for us and never fails. So thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I cannot wait to talk to you again next time.